Hello friends, thank you so much for being with us today. Class is in session. This is your host Luis, and today we're going to take a look at this Dark Broly and Paragus mono black leader. Alright guys, again thank you guys so much for being with us today, and thanks to well, Bondi I guess, and maybe a couple people in the community, I'm not 100% sure who to blame this on. Regionals are now best of one, okay? So thanks to this horrific news, our decks that were going to be played in regionals are going to have to be, you know, geared towards best of one. Now, I have a huge issue with best of one because it doesn't really bring out a player's actual skill, because if they whiff, well, they whiffed, and you don't really know how they played the game. Now there's going to be a lot of trollers and a lot of people that they only know how to speak nonsense and will say best of one is a lot of this good format, a lot of whatever. I don't think anyone asked for your opinion, and I also understand that no one asked for my opinion, but if you clicked on this video is because, well, you appreciate me enough to see what my opinion is. Alright, for those of you guys don't know, we're just going to go ahead and take a look at the leader, and the deck again is geared towards best of one. We're in the leader. For those of you guys don't know what Dark Broly and Paragus do. Once per turn, you're able to take up a life. Okay, this is optional. It's not something that you have to do, but you're more than welcome to. You take up that life, and then you look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Then you're able to choose up to 3 black battle cards with 30k power and put them straight into your drop area. And the rest of the cards go straight to the bottom of the deck. So if we only see one, you only see one. Now, is there a chance that you won't hit anything? Absolutely there is. But we've cut our deck down to a small number of 52 cards. Majority of Dark Broly players are out here with the 60 deck brick that they're walking around with. We're only going to be playing 52, and there's a chance that I might bring it down to 50, and I'll let you guys know what card it is that I'm trying to cut. And that way, so you don't whiff as much. And also, you guys know me, know that I do like playing black, but I don't like playing Toa, so I don't put her in any deck. Even if she's viable, even if she's usable, I just don't use Toa. Finally, auto, when this card attacks, you're able to draw a card, and when your life is at 4 or less, you're able to awaken the leader and draw 2 cards. Now that this card's on its front side, you've drawn yourself two cards in your hands that are decent size. Activate main. Once per turn, you're able to choose up to 3 black battle cards from your warp that have a battle power of 30,000. Put them from your warp back into your drop area, and then you're able to draw a card. So that's a bit of a downside to this leader. It doesn't draw on swing. While the back side is giving you that +2, the front side is only giving you a +1. So late game, the deck does struggle against draw power. So you're trying to awaken as fast as you possibly can, because you're trying to swing as much as you possibly can and not give your opponent enough time to be able to set up his board and set up his energy and set up his hand, so that they can't really do anything about what you're about to do next. Again, the deck struggles a little bit with draw power, and it does struggle a little bit with defense. It struggles quite a bit with defense, actually. And that's why this leader has his own activate battle. So this activate battle is not once per turn. This is as many times as you want. You can either kill a card in your hand or kill a card on board, as long as it's black and it has 30k power, and send it to the drop area. And this card right here, your leader gains an extra 5k power for the battle. This is not once per turn, so you can do that 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You do it 3 times, he gets an extra 15k. You do it twice, an extra 10, once, an extra 5. And you can do that as many cards as you have resources. Okay, so if the more resources that you have, the more beefy this guy can get. That works on offense and defense. You might get away with it. You might do that one on offense, but you're most likely going to end up doing that on defense. All right, friends, we're going to take a look at the bulk of the deck here. The majority of the Dark Broly stuff. We're going to be playing ourselves 4 7-star parasitic ball. All right, basically, this card counts as a Dark Dragon Ball in all areas, all of them, and it has 2 activate abilities. There's an activate battle, which gives any card you want an extra 5k, and it has an activate main. If you send a Dark Broly with an energy cost of 1, or a Black Broly with an energy cost of 1, you send it to the drop area, you're able to play 1 Dark Broly of any cost, or even any color, from your deck and place it on, and play either from the deck or the drop area and play it on board. The guy that you're going to send away with this ball's ability is Broly Savage Rush. So you can tap 1 energy, play this guy, but he cannot swing. I want to make that perfectly clear. This card is crazy, this card is busted, this card is strong as junk. But you are not allowed to swing with this 1-drop 30k power beef man, okay? You're not able to swing, so don't think about it. Also has a second permanent that this card's skills cannot be negated. Now that sounds like it's a positive thing, but the reason why that permanent tag is there is because he has a second permanent saying he can't be swung, he can't swing with it. So this is actually to even out the card, just to balance it out, because if I wanted to, I could just negate Broly Savage Rush's skill and swing 30k first turn. So we're not going to do that with this guy specifically. We're going to do it with the next few guys we're going to play. So you place Broly Savage Rush for 1 energy, or you can play him from the drop area for 1 black energy and sending 3 black battle cards to the warp, and he hits the field. You send him away with Parasitic Darkness, and there are 4 targets that you're able to play off of him. First one is this Dark Broly, the new Masked Saiyan. This is arguably the worst out of the 4, but that doesn't mean that he's bad. He's still at 30k and he has blocker. Now all of these have the same unique tag in common. So from here on out, all the Dark Brolys I'm about to show you have unique. They also have a secondary ability that you're able to play them from the drop area, except for one, the last one. You're able to play them from the drop area by warping 6 black battle cards from the drop area to your warp. You send them to the warp, and then you're able to play this guy and the next few guys from the drop area. Finally, all of them have the same skill as well. The turn you play him, you're not able to play him again. So you're able to play the other Dark Brolys, but if I play the new Masked Saiyan once this turn, can't play him again this turn. I gotta wait a turn. Next one we're going to take a look at is Demon Realm Ravager. Has the same exact skills as the new Masked Saiyan. The only difference between him and the one before him is that he actually has a skill, so he's quite useful compared to the new Masked Saiyan. When he hits the board, your opponent has to warp a card out of the hand, and then you're able to pick any battle card in their drop area, and also send it to the warp. Uncontrollable Berserker, we're only going to be playing 3 of these. He also has the same unique, you can warp 6 and play him. You can't play him again for the rest of the turn. He has another ability that he can pick any card on your opponent's side of the board, excluding obviously unisons and cards with barrier, and send it away to the warp. And finally, Unbridled Destruction. Alright, so this guy, again, also has unique, but he can't be played from the drop area by warping 6 cards, alright? This guy can't be played that way. He can be played by sending away with a 1-drop with the ball, and then bringing him out from the deck with a drop area. He is also a beefcake. He's very, very strong. And just 30k swings is ridiculous. He is a red battle card, alright? Inherently, he's a red battle card. He has unique, but the difference between him and the rest is that he also has deflect. So he's going to hit the board no matter what. Green can get rid of it, but green isn't being used very, very much in this format. Doesn't mean that green isn't prominent and will never be used again, but until then, we're just going to take advantage of these things, and we're going to continue to use these cards with deflect. Sorry, I had to move that because of the glare. Didn't realize I was blinding you guys. Alright, so this guy, he can be played with Parasitic Darkness by sending away the 1-drop Broly, or you can EX evolve this guy over a Dark Broly with an energy cost of 2 or an energy cost of 6. So you're able to play him over your other beefcakes very, very easily and for 2 energy. When he hits the board, okay, he's got some crazy abilities. And I know that this is an essay worth of text, and if you don't want to read it, that's alright. I'm going to just sum it up for you. Basically, when he's played, as long as there's a card under him, so an EX Evolve or the 2-drop Broly, we don't play that one in the deck, but you can use it. If there's a card under him, and your opponent has 3 life or more, your opponent has 2 options. The first one, they send 1 battle card from 3 different areas. 1 from their field, 1 from their drop area, and 1 from their hand. Send those 3 to the warp, and if they don't do that, they have to take 1 of their lives and put it in the drop. That's quite impressive for this card. Your opponent is not allowed to pick 2 battle cards from his hand and 1 from his drop area, or 2 from the field and 1 from the drop area. He has to pick 1 battle card from the field, 1 battle card from the drop, and 1 battle card from his hand, send him to the world, and then he doesn't have to take the life. So it's a -3 on your opponent, and it can potentially even shut down their sparking negates and stuff like that. Or your opponent just deals himself that damage, crits himself that damage. Alright, so that's going to be the end of these guys, but we're going to take a look at some other 30k battle cards that are black. I think most of you guys probably already saw this coming. We're going to be playing 3 Mirror Creator Absorbed and 1 Fu Shrouded in Mystery. You're never going to see this. You're never going to play this by his skill unless you're playing against somebody that's stalling the crap out of you, but you're most likely never going to play this card. Mirror Creator Absorb, if I could, I don't have an extra one, I would probably swap him for Fu and just play 4 Mirror Creator Absorb. This is quite an impressive card right here. He has 2 autos. The first one you're just going to completely ignore because we don't use it. The second auto is when this card attacks, you're able to give him 5k power for every card in your warp. The reason why that's great is because he's played with Overrealm for 1 energy. Overrealm for 1 energy, and all you have to do is have 4 cards in your drop area. But since you're doing it near the end of the game, that's quite impressive. That's very, very impressive. And he comes out on board and you swing with him and he does a ridiculous amount of power. And depending on the cards in your hand, you're able to do some crazy damage. Food Shredder and Mystery, he's a 30k base with double strike. Again, you're really not going to see him. If you manage to make it a 6 energy, that's crazy. Okay, that's crazy. But if you do get a chance to play him, then you get a chance to play him. When you play this card using Overrealm, you have to have 10 cards in the drop. You have to tap 6 energy. If you see this guy, you play him for that much, and then your opponent can activate anything unless it's on his leader skill for the next 2 turns. The turn he's played and the turn after. And your opponent is not able to activate anything, which is why it's really, really good. But you're probably not going to see it. Kyle believes that this card should have the ultimate tag, and I'm starting to agree with him more and more the more I see people play it. Alright, we're going to take a look at some tech here. We're going to play 1 Hidden Power E Supreme Kai. I'm not trying to kill my red count or my black count, so I want to keep as many black cards as in the deck that I possibly can because of my super combos. Speaking of which, we're going to be playing 4 super combos. Before I talk about the super combos, this guy gives any of the attacking cards, your leader, unison, or battle card, double strike. So again, it goes really, really well with this guy because he gains a ridiculous amount of power. 30, 40, 50, 60, 110. I think the highest I'll reach is 180 double strike, and this gives an extra 10, so 190 double strike. Or it pairs well with any of your Dark Broly's because they become 40k double strikers on swing. We're going to be playing 4 regular schmegular super combos for black. Alright, I want you guys also to be aware that if you play other colors and then those colors hit the board, if your opponent, especially if you're playing against the new Gohan deck, if your opponent smacks you with this ridiculous Goku black, they will shut down your super combos by putting a different color into your energy, and you're no longer able to use your super combos. Your super combos state that you have to have 4 life or less, and all your energy has to be black. The other super combos say the same thing. All your energy has to be blue, green, yellow, whatever. But this guy right here, wonderful. Bottom deck a card, draw 2, as long as your life is at 4 or less, which is greatly viable, extremely viable, because the leader self awakens. Negates, 3 power bursts. This is your sparking negate. Wonderful negate. It also allows you to add those Dark Broly's with an energy cost of 1 from your drop or warp area back into your hand. And if you don't have any energy up, as long as you have 5 cards in the drop area, you're able to take a life instead of tapping an energy. Alright, I also want to remind you guys, I said earlier that this deck does struggle with defense. And this card right here is one of these ways that you can kind of avoid having to struggle with defense that much. Protector of the People, or Pop. Pop right here, you negate the initial attack, and then you're able to pitch an extra card from your hand into the drop area, and then your leader card gains the following skill. Each time this card is attacked by a battle card, it gains 5k power. So if your opponent likes to aggro or pressure, this right here is going to be really, really helpful to keep you alive. The next 2 cards we're going to be playing is Meki, Kabura, the Broken Seal. Crazy card, ridiculous card. It's definitely worth how much it costs. The reason why this card's so great, first of all, it has deflect, so it's gonna hit the board. And auto, I'm gonna read it because I don't remember word for word what it says. But it's auto. When this card is played, declare an original cost and character name. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent can't play cards with both the declared character name and original energy cost. You can't play copies of this card during your next turn. It's extremely important. There have been occasions where you have 4 energy up. I have had 4 energy up, and I have popped 2 Mekis on board. And now I've stopped my opponent from playing 2 specific type of cards instead of just 1. Because I can't play him the next turn, but it doesn't say that I can't play more than 1 once per turn. Finally, he has an activate main. Once per turn, you add up to 1 Dark Dragon Ball card from your deck to your hand, and then shuffle the deck, which is really helpful, which is the reason why this card's in the main deck. Not just because it's best of 1, but because this guy typically, he's a sideboard for any other deck that you're playing against, or you're playing with. But you can add Dark Dragon Balls to your hand, and that just makes the deck really run very, very smoothly. The only issue that I have is that it costs 2 energy. Now, you guys might be calling me a fool, and I understand that the reason why it costs 2 energy is because it's balancing out the deck, so I get that. And the reason why I'm complaining is because I'd rather play things for free, but it's not because I think that the card is bad at all. That's not what I think. Now, the reason why this card's also really great is because this card exists. Alright, there are ways to counter Dark Broly, and this card right here is one of those ways to do that. Basically, this gentleman right here, this Unison, it recurs itself markers for free, and it also minuses himself one marker per turn, and it stops the opponent from swinging with battle cards that are higher than its current energy cost. It doesn't affect Unisons, but it does affect your battle cards. Now, you can't swing with your big boy Broly with an energy cost of 1, and that also means you're not going to be able to swing with the other ones because you're never going to reach 6 energy. But Meki is one of those ways that I can get out of it. Another one of those ways that you can get out of it is by this gentleman right here, Gravy and Demigra's Thrall. Now, typically you don't play this card. You don't. You just combo with this card because when you combo with him, you're able to send 2 cards, any color, from your warp back into your drop area when you combo with him. And that's a +3 cards back in your drop area. So I typically just combo with him so that I can continue, I can do an overrealm, or I can continue playing my big boy Broly's, my beefcakes. But if you swing with him, he gets the same effect. So you tap 2 energies, play him, swing at the Unison, and you continue to swing with these 15Ks so that you can kill those Unisons. The third card that allows you to kill that Unison is going to be this Tag Team Son Gohan. Alright, so my man's has inherent blocker, so typically you use them for defense. But if you run into that situation, you're not worried about defense. You're worried about the fact that you can't swing. You have less defense than offense. So if your opponent goes after your offense and doesn't allow you to attack, well then you're in trouble. Alright, so it doesn't matter how many beefcakes you have on board if you can't swing with them. So this gentleman right here comes out for free as long as any of your black battle cards is removed from the battle area by a skill. Doesn't matter if it's your own, doesn't matter if it's your opponent. If I play something with Overrealm, at the end of the turn, if that card leaves, this card comes on play. If I tap 1 energy, play 1 drop Beefcake Broly, hit him with the ball, and then he leaves into the drop area, he's played. Anything like that that makes your black battle cards disappear, they played. Another card we're going to be playing is this Kai, and I'll talk a little bit more about it later. If you activate this main to send it away because it left the battle area, this card is able to be played. The only stipulation that he has is that you're only allowed to play 1 of them on board. Next, we're going to take a look at a few more cards because King Piccolo is alive and well. King Piccolo works. King Piccolo is nasty. I personally don't like playing red, but I also don't like playing against it. Kyle plays a lot of red, and every red deck that he's built has been obnoxious, has been strong, it's kind of difficult to play against. And King Piccolo is one of those decks out there that's quite oppressive, and Dark Broly does struggle against it. But thanks to Super Kamehameha, we're able to stay alive, and we're able to stop King Piccolo from doing things. So I don't remember exactly every single word, so I'm going to take one of these and read it for you. Again, we're playing 3 of these. This is a counterplay. If your leader card is black and your life is at 4 or less, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less, it's sent to the owner's warp instead of being played. So you're warping cards left and right, and this is one of those things. Those cards, King Piccolo, when it combos cards from his life or whatever, it plays them, and then they do skills, they do things. You stop your opponent from playing any of those. The majority of the King Piccolo stuff has energy cost of 1, 2, or 3. There are a couple with an energy cost of 4, but this right here is just really helpful to get rid of those things, especially their blockers. Now, I'm not saying their blockers are the most detrimental part of their deck, but they do hurt Dark Broly late game or turn 2 or 3 when you're trying to go for game. Those blockers come out on the board for free, and you can't kill them because they all have barrier. Super Kamehameha stops you from playing those. The second thing about Super Kamehameha that makes it very powerful, it's permanent. If you only have black battle cards in your energy and your life is at 4 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding a card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. So if you've kept yourself up at a healthy 4 life, you can do that 2 times, even 3 times in 1 turn, just to stop your opponent from dropping those blockers. Next thing we're going to take a look at, this is a staple I think in any deck and a sideboard in pretty much all of them. Secret Identity Masked Saiyan. This right here is wonderful. If you play this card using Overrealm, and it only requires Overrealm 6, so you have to have 6 cards in the drop. If you play this guy using Overrealm, you're able to kill cards on your opponent's side of the field whose total energy adds up to 6. So you can kill 3 2-drops, you can kill 6 1-drops, you can kill 1 6-drop, and send it straight to the warp. If you're not playing against black, this is great, this is helpful, this is strong. That's pretty much it for the tech here. We're going to play a card that I know many of you guys already saw coming to Sengoku, a Heartfelt Plea, SS4 Sengoku. Heartfelt Plea is wonderful, guys. This is such a great card. Very, very powerful, especially in this deck. But this is one of these decks that if you're playing against yellow or blue, you don't want it sent to your energy, because then your super combos are completely dead. And the way that you play this card is very, very simple. First, we're going to go over his skills. Again, I don't remember all of these because it's a bit of a paragraph, but he has inherent triple strike and he's a 30k base. He's got energy exhaust, so if you do charge him, he comes into your energy and rest mode. And he has a skill called Offering. If you haven't been playing the game for very long, if you weren't around when Offering came out, Offering basically it gives your opponent two options. They either take one card in their life and put it into the drop area, or they allow you to draw two cards. So this is how you play this card auto. You choose one of your red battle cards with 25k power or more, place it in the owner's drop area. When your leader card activates Awaken, if this card is not on board, you're in your battle area, you may play it from your hand. And this is how this works, essentially. Alright, so turn 1, turn 2, whatever turn you want, you're gonna play this guy, right? You're pretending here that your leader is slumped asleep. You swing with this, you swing with leader to draw, you do skills or whatever. You tap 2 energy, turn 2 or 3, and you're able to evolve over this. At this point, hopefully your opponent's either at 3 or 4 life. We're gonna give your opponent a chance to win, so we're gonna pretend he's at 4 life. You play this, your opponent doesn't have any cards in the battle area or any battle cards in the drop area, they automatically are going to have to take that life and bring themselves down to 3. You're hoping to swing right here again and deal that extra damage and bring them down to 3 life or 2 life or whatever that looks like. Finally, you activate Awaken and you pop him in order to play Heartfelt Plea. You Awaken to draw 2 cards. Now the way that this works is that you can't Awaken, draw into Heartfelt Plea, and then activate it. You have to reveal Heartfelt Plea to your opponent so that way they know that you had it the moment you activated Awaken. You kill this, you Awaken, and very easily you're able to Awaken your leader, draw 2 cards, and hopefully your opponent will allow you to draw an extra 2 cards. But even if they don't, they are still at kill range at this point because they were at 4 life and 4, and they're anywhere between 2 and 3. And when this card swings, it's a 30k triple strike, and it's quite difficult for your opponent to get around. Finally, I told you guys we're going to talk about the Supreme Kai of Time here. Guys, I think this is the best, most versatile card in all of Dragon Ball. This card is wonderful. This card is great. You can put it in any deck that you want. You can go out and build Shroom and Salsa, which is not that great of a deck, and stick that in there, and the deck becomes much better. This is ultimate. You can only run 1, and permanent. If this card would leave the battle area, it's just removed from the game. So it's not sent to the ward. It's removed from the game. Secondly, it has an activate main. You tap 1 energy, and then you send this card from your battle area to remove it from the game. And your opponent has to warp every battle card in their battle area and their unison. Now, it doesn't go around barrier, but it kills unisons. Alright friends, so your opponent might have a unison that's played for free and they're tapped out, or negates that are played for free as long as they have a unison, or counterplays that are played as long as they have a unison. Well, you completely decimate those unisons with this card right here. You don't even swing, because if you swing, they have the chance to activate your dormant potential or whatever. You go ahead and just tap that energy, send this away from the game, and your opponent is not able to play anything. Again, thank you guys so much for being with us today. Thank you for spending this time. I definitely want to know your thoughts on how you feel about Best of 1 for the new format that's coming up. Again, I personally don't really care for it, but it doesn't mean that you know, we're not going to play it just because it's not Best of 1. We're also not cowards, so we're going to be there. We're going to do as much as we can. Finally, Kyle believes that Dark Broly has a pretty high chance of getting hit by the ban list in the next set. Personally, I don't think so, especially because, you know, it didn't do super well in the last event. It did well. It came in the top 7, but King Piccolo completely decimated it and did pretty well against it. So you guys let us know down in the comments what you think. Is there anything that you would do differently? How do you feel about Best of 1? And finally, do you think Dark Broly is going to get hit by the ban list? Thank you guys so much for watching, and we're praying for you guys always. Bye.